Good morning, Destiny players, and welcome back to a refreshed build within Destiny 2. This time, we take another look at the Lucky Pants build I made a few weeks back in Season of Defiance. We'll look at what's changed, how I've improved it, and more. I am Bladeburger, your local goddammit I forgot to reload my hand cannon again kinda guy, and make sure to like the video and subscribe if you want. I upload pretty regularly, except for last week. Now, let's get into it. To start, Lucky Pants itself. These Hunter exotic boots make it so readying a fully loaded hand cannon that deals kinetic damage or damage matching your subclass type allows hits to increase the damage it deals per hit up to 10 stacks. It also gives hand cannons better AE and ready and stow faster. More details. This buff starts right as you hit an enemy with the first shot, goes right to cooldown if you don't hit an enemy after a few seconds, and lasts 5.5 seconds when it triggers regardless if it hits 10 stacks or not. Each stack is a whopping 60% damage added, going up to 600% damage at 10 stacks. After the 5.5 second window ends, there is a 10-second cooldown before you can use this ability again. Also make a mental note to reload the hand cannon after you blow your load, as this exotic lost his hand cannon holster when Lightfall dropped. They should probably add it back. Definitely remember that, as the ability won't trigger with the high capacity Clipazine 3000 isn't fully loaded with baby killer rounds. I've had that happen a few times and thought it was bugged. Now let's get to the hand cannon of choice. When using this build after I posted the first video of this, a lot were asking why the double hand cannons. I did it for flavor at the time, but over time it felt more and more clunky, so I swapped the build around, testing more hand cannons and weapon combinations. I never got a good 7 Seraph officer roll, Crimson was pretty good but not great, and other hand cannons weren't effective enough or had much lower easy use like Ariana's Vow. Then this season launched and Malfeasance got a catalyst that gave Vorpal weapon and 20 range, so I knew I had to try it. What Malfeasance with this new catalyst offered was just what the build needed: ease of use, insane damage, and use kinetic ammo instead of special ammo. So I redid the build slightly that day and completed the catalyst. Which was like day 2 of the season, and it turned out pretty well. Additionally, Astacross put out a video about Lucky Pants DPS, and Malfeasance was at the top of all hand cannons except for Ariana's Vow, but was only 30k behind. 30k can be a lot, however consider the following. Malfeasance is a primary, no special ammo needed, no need to divert the build to support it, does extra crit damage because it deals kinetic damage, just this one weapon deals that much damage. The damage that Malfeasance done can even compete in raid DPS. I've done Root and Last Wish a few times this season, using Lucky Pants and Malfeasance quite a bit, and I placed top of the team in a majority of damage phases. It's even better in longer phases, as the cooldown means you can use your heavy weapon until the cooldown is over, then swap back to get the massive damage bump again. Pairs well with the Retrofit Escapade from Season of Seraph. Additionally, Lucky Pants is its own buff source, so it stacks with things like Well of Radiance and Surges. I raid with a guy who raids a lot more than I do, having exactly 300 clears of Skirt to the Past, and he was even surprised at the damage that Lucky Pants puts out. It's insanely strong when combined with weapons like Malfeasance. So, let's get to the build. If you see my last video on it, not too much has changed, but what did change made an impact. There is a Destiny Item Manager link in the description below if I remember to add it. So let's begin. To start, we're on Solar Hunter. Golden Gun is a super of choice, as this build is angled towards Radiant spam, and Golden Gun is buffed by Radiant. For dodge, Acrobat's dodge, giving us a free source of Radiant and a sick kickflip. One of 2 ways to give Radiant on this build. We also have Proximity Dive, as an aspect allows us to be essentially infinite and an easy source for Radiant from a fragment. The grenade we use doesn't really matter though, just make sure that if you're using a healing grenade to change that mod out on gauntlets, firepower to heavy-handed. For aspects, knock them down. Your solar supers are buffed. For us, Golden Gun gains damage resistance. Additionally, while Radiant, kills with our throwing knife recharged immediately. The other aspect is on your mark. Precision kills give you and nearby allies better handling and reload speed for a short time, stacks up to 3 times, and dodging puts you right to max stacks. We have 5 fragment slots total, so let's get to it. For fragments, we have Ember of Solace. Radiant and Restoration effects that you apply or have applied to you last longer. Ember of Torches, powered melee attacks that hit enemies make you and nearby allies radiant. Ember of Mercy, for utility. When you revive an ally, you and nearby allies gain restoration. Additionally, fire sprites give restoration. Ember of Tempering, solar weapon kills give you and allies better recovery for a short time. Stacks 3 times, and while active, solar weapon kills make a fire sprite, although fire sprites have a natural cooldown of 4 seconds. Ember of Benevolence, applying a solar buff to an ally gives you better non-super ability regeneration for a time. Now those are the fragments, now to the weapons and stats. For weapons, Malfeasance obviously as your primary weapon, and then any solar weapon, preferably a solar primary for our mods and fragments to really work. I personally use a BXR with this build, it's just that good of a weapon. For stats, do whatever. Prioritize resilience and mobility for survivability and quick dodge recharges. All else, just go with whatever. Now to the mods. As usual, here's an overview of the mods and stuff. While looking, subscribe so I know that you look at the screen and absorb its knowledge. You all done? Good. You can't unsubscribe, by the way. The binding contracts and all. I don't make the rules. The mods that I use make use of decaying armor charges a lot, so we need a regular source of orbs and armor charges. Let's get to it. On helmet, we have a siphon for our weapons, so kinetic and solar. Rapid kills with solar and or kinetic weapons make an orb power. On arms, font to focus. Armor charges now decay, and while they're decaying, you gain a bonus to discipline, helping our grenade recharge. With one mod, it's 30 to that stat. We also have firepower. Kills with grenades make orbs. One orb for every one grenade, no matter the number of kills with one grenade. This can also be swapped out for heavy-handed to make an orb on melee kills. For chest, charged up, as I like making the armor charges an even 4. No reason, I just do. This mod allows us to carry another armor charge, from 3 to 4. We also have 2 resist mods because we're so creative. On legs, the new elemental charge mod, picking up a class collectible, so fire sprites, ionic traces, and the like, has an escalating chance to grant an armor charge. It's different for every collectible. We also have 2 kinetic surge mods to increase Malfeasance's damage by 17% as long as we have an armor charge. On class item, double time dilation, increases the time before our armor charges go away, with 2 mods putting it to 18 seconds each. And we have Reaper, of course. After using our class ability, the next weapon kill we do makes an overpower. No time restriction on it. With the siphon in this mod, we can make 2 orbs for 1 enemy. So how does it play? It plays really well. Use either primary for general use, and swap to Malfeasance for any beefy enemy. It also does well against red bars, as the Lucky Pants damage just lasts 5.5 seconds, but it doesn't go away unless you swap weapons or the time runs out. Yes, just do 45,000 damage to a Thrall. Go for it. This combo lets you do insane damage and stacks with most things in the game. Malfeasance is the perfect weapon for the Lucky Pants with its catalysts. The aspects and fragments help us survive and ensure we can blow our load on the unsuspecting dragon, the EDZ. It's a good build, try it out yourself and let me know how it does. As usual, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, which is actually a Fallen Sunstar build. Join my Discord. Blade Burger out.